Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, your host with the most, Griever, as always, bringing you guys the latest chapter review for Ayakashi Triangle, Chapter 54. Let's get underway with this one because, as I predicted in the last chapter, Chapter 53 review, I think I was right on the money. I think I already had touched the money by that point because this is exactly what Suzu's plan was. I theorized about this, and it was pretty obvious that she was very upset by Matsuri's idea of being more and more like a girl and maybe not becoming a boy anymore. Like maybe that's just a pipe dream, and maybe maybe Matsuri should just stay a girl sort of idea, and she was sort of down. It wasn't exactly just I'm good with being a girl. It was more of a down in the dumps sort of idea, like things have gotten better, this happened, that happened. I already talked about that in the last review, so go check that out. But here, of course, at the end of the last chapter, he said, well, we're going to sleep in the bed together and sort of idea. And we start out, and it seems innocent enough, right? But they start talking, and, they're still awake and stuff. Of course, Matsuri is sort of like thump, 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 can't sleep, right? So Suzu says, I'm having trouble sleeping as well, but I forgot to do my stretches before bed. And a lot of people do this. A lot of people do stretch before bed. I'm not someone, I should do a lot more stretching, but I do not. So here, she says, well, will you help me out and stuff? And of course, it seems to be building the sexual tension as it always does in an Ichi manga. It always does that. But she's slowly but surely, she's doing her normal stretches and stuff, and she's not really pronouncing herself, but she's just asking for Matsuri's help, and he's wondering the whole time, is it okay? Like, I'm a guy, is it all right for me to be touching Suzu like this? Is this okay? Is that okay? And then we get this whole shot, like, basically at the end of the day, he's still convincing himself we're both girls, it's fine, and then the compromising positions continue, and we get a shot that Matsuri, at first I thought it actually happened, and I was like, whoa, are we really going this route? But it did not. It was something that Matsuri believed would slowly but surely, if this continued, that he would basically jump her. So he ends up just rolling right over and just going, nope, keep it under control, right? So Matsuri explains, it's not good for us to do these sort of things because at the end of the day, I am a guy. Like, his resolve broke and sort of idea. And Suzu just explains that, she hugs him and says, that was the point. That was the point of my little test. I used my body as a test. I'm sorry about that. But you didn't want to tell Yayo about the fact that you weren't really a girl. And you told me about, a guy can't touch a girl's body so easily like that, and you said that maybe you were better off as a girl or more suited to be a girl and stuff, and I was just getting worried because you are a guy, you're, and stuff like that. And right now with this, and she doesn't do it in a mean way, basically saying oh no, if you get a sex change or whatever. And right now, the gender bender genre existed for quite a number of decades. Before the magical hijinks ensue with genderbender. The thing is that people of today are going to really attach some of these words and some of these situations. They're going to forget the magical portion of it. They're going to forget what the genderbender genre is all about for the comedic sake, and they're going to attach the real 2020, 2021 sort of mentality towards it with LGBT and all that stuff. And I've talked about this before. So I'm glad here that they put in a line because it's very difficult to talk about this without, sort of stepping on potentially some people's toes. But Suzu does explain here saying, you have a girl's body, but I didn't really know how you truly felt. I thought you might have actually had a change of heart, and she used her body as a test. So it's not that if Matsuri actually felt that way, which is sort of what came across in chapter 53, and at the beginning of this chapter, it's sort of like, she's like, no, you're a guy, blah, blah, blah. If Matsuri had actually truly gotten used to being in a girl's body and basically adapted and ended up liking being a girl more than ever being a guy, that would be a different thing. And Suzu is basically acknowledging that. So I do like that aspect that they threw that side of it in here, the more dramatical, the more serious tone to it, that they basically said, you say these things so willy-nilly, I wasn't sure how you truly felt. Do you really think, do you feel better as a girl now? Do you want to actually stay a girl? Or was it just an offhand comment? I didn't know. The evidence was stacking up that maybe you truly didn't want to be a guy anymore or whatever. So I used my body as a test to try to figure that out, and I'm sorry about that. I actually like that idea. I like that they went that route with it. I think that this is actually, as a very simple chapter with a lot of course, Ichi moments, but that's the point. I find that this moment is actually quite deep, quite well written, etc., etc. Matsuri ends up basically saying that I got used to being a girl, and I'm getting more and more used to it, but at the end of the day, yeah, I still am a guy. So if I say things like that, blah, 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 but you know what? I am going to go tell Yayo and Lou. I'm going to tell Yayo and Lou about me turning into a girl. I'm not going to keep any secrets. So we're not going to have that, like, stepping on toes over and over and over for, like, a number of times. Like, they told Yayo 90% of everything, but kept this 10% ball hidden, and it's going to bite them in the ass. No, they're actually going to go to school tomorrow, and that's what they're going to do. So Matsuri says, like, I am afraid, and that's the reason I didn't tell her before, like, I am afraid of their reaction. Like, will they treat me different? Will they not want to be my friend anymore? Because we've been in situations and stuff. Like, I just don't really know how to handle this. Now, of course, they do end up going, we do see actually a young boy Matsuri again. We see young boy Matsuri when they're reminiscing about used to napping together and blah, blah, blah. And, so they end up going to bed and everything's cool, everything's fine, they're holding hands. Then, of course, apparently she thinks that certain Matsuri's chestful emotions are marshmallows, apparently. So she decides to, yeah. Anyways, the brother walks in on that and stuff and just goes, oh God. And Shirogane doesn't even get the chance to, because he's just checking on them. Shirogane doesn't even get the chance to go, how utterly shameless! No, because the brother, I forget the brother's name, grabs him and says, Shiro, we need to leave these two alone right now, let's go, and hup it off to the room, right? So that's actually quite funny, that's quite interesting. Overall, as I said, I thought it was a very good chapter. We end off the chapter with them telling Lou and Yayo, just like was said at, I believe, the beginning of chapter 53, they said, telling Lou likes to be all, sci-fi and aliens and stuff, but she doesn't honestly believe it. So, like, in her heart of hearts. So, they said, well, we will telling Lou might not even matter. And in the end of the day, telling Lou did not really matter. But they do tell Yayo, and she's actually very sympathetic towards it. Though she does bring up the moments, like, when they had a bath together and stuff, and she's thinking about it. She's like, oh, we did do a few things. Oh, well, whatever. Like, I've taken off my clothes in front of him, blah, blah, blah. But it's all good. It's all in the past. It's like, because you've been through so much, she actually is like supportive of this, and basically she didn't get bad. She feels sorry. She feels sorry for Matsuri in this regard, and I like that. Yayo is actually, I don't mind her as a character and stuff. I think she's good as one of the side characters, one of the school friend side characters. And now that she's in on the secret, I think we can open up the avenue for some more adventures, more fun and stuff like that. Because overall, even though I am disappointed with the pacing, the villain of the week, the story of the week sort of chapters right now into chapter 54, almost more than halfway to 100 chapters, and realistically, not really much of a plot to talk about. But overall, it's just, I was changed into a girl and hijinks ensue, and I'm a ninja. That's basically the plot too. It's just I'm thrown in situations as a result of this. So, either way, I thought the chapter was done really well. I'm glad that they cleared up the Lou and Yayo stuff really easily. And I'm glad, as I said, the emotional aspect in the middle of the chapter, talking about that Suzu wasn't necessarily upset if Matsuri actually truly, in his heart of hearts, felt more alive, felt like maybe staying a woman was the best, staying a girl was the best thing for him or whatever, and he really did. Like, that's a whole identity thing, and that's fine. And she was willing to accept that, but she wanted to know if he really meant it. And so I'm glad that they sort of clarified that in this chapter, because as I said, in today's society, gender bender comedy is not what it once was with the rise of the LGBT and stuff like that. So it's not, especially, and where way more Western people are reading manga and all the mangas are being translated and stuff, it's not as, maybe the comedy aspect of it will be lost, maybe the fun of it will be lost, and it will be, blacklisted and stuff by especially the West, where we judge so harshly of other cultures and what they consider okay and not okay, for example. So either way, I just really, I thought this chapter was very well done. It was a very good chapter. Actually, it's one chapter that I've enjoyed for the last little while. I think it's one of my more recently enjoyable chapters of Ayakashi Triangle. More recently, I've definitely enjoyed this chapter. So, but let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe. As always, don't forget to drink responsibly, as always, as I always do. And we will see you back here next time for Ayakashi Triangle, chapter 55. Looking forward to it, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you back here next time. Peace out.